Hello there, I'm your host, Dorcas Fellows, and this is The World According to Dorcas. Tonight's episode, The True Nature of Ant Colonies. Many of you are familiar with ants. They'll ruin your picnic, invade your home, and crawl in your tube of toothpaste when you forget to put the cap back on. Yes, most have encountered ants at one time or another in their lives, and many have found them to be a nuisance. But I'll bet you didn't know that ant colonies are actually possessed by spirits of the dead. That's why they're found everywhere but Antarctica. It's a little known fact that each time a person dies, an ant colony is born. An ant colony operates like a single, complete organism. This is because their activity is governed by a hive mind, which just so happens to be the soul of a dead person. The temperament and predilections and other vestiges of the personality of a given departed person determine which species of ant they become and guide the behavior of the colony they reincarnate into. For instance, many who had a strong sweet tooth in life become a bunch of sugar ants in the next. Those who are quick to anger often become fire ants, or a similar species known for its aggression. Dopey people, like myself, usually wind up becoming carpenter ants. And sometimes crazy and retarded people become termites. Do you have an ant problem in your home? And if you do, what should you do about it? It could be a grandparent trying to contact you from the other side of your kitchen window. Think of the ants in your cookie jar as a way of your Nana just dropping in to say hello and that she loves you. Should you refrain from exterminating ants the next time you catch them taking over your house or lawn? Well, ultimately, it doesn't really matter because the individual ants themselves don't know the difference if you kill them or not, and the dead person inhabiting them will simply move on to another ant colony. It happens all the time. However, there are people who ascribe to non-violent religions, such as Jainism, believe that it's cruel and unnecessary to kill them. Often, they'll even leave offerings of sugar water for the ants on sponges. Now, I know what you're wondering. Does this apply to other hive insects? Well, after decades of scientific investigation, we have reason to suspect that wasps and yellow jackets and other hornets are actually possessed by the souls of house cats. What about bees? Bees, despite all appearance to the contrary, happen to be individuals with highly developed inner worlds, and they organize themselves in societies not unlike their own. So, bees have their own souls. Each bee has its own soul. Ants do not. So, that concludes tonight's episode of The World According to Dorcas. I hope you will join me for future ones in which I'll talk about how when the ice caps melt, Greenland will float away, how Florida doesn't exist, how there really is a tiny sun in the center of the earth, and how circumcision arose as a ritual not to distinguish members from one ancient tribe from another, but out of a need for tasty and nutritious snacks on long voyages. Thank you very much, and good night.